Yeah, everybody, welcome back. I don't know, Chute Nation, welcome back, season 2. Hope you guys missed us. We're here again. I don't know, it's Chute now, where we have random reasoning, and we're back for season 2, where we'll be doing a whole new set of topics. We have a different style. We'll be having giveaways. We'll be having more guests, Thank you for tuning in again. I'm Donks. We have Ella, right here. We have Ras, also known as the girl them curry goat, you see me? We have Suna, my Mr. Shia, but him have some really good points, you see me? And then we have Il King, aka Il Tracks, producer, him the guy who are responsible for the graphics, all of the colorful things that you see happening in the videos. Is Mr. Ilchak's responsible for that. You see me? How has everybody been over the break?
Good.
Yeah, more weight.
Is it just that?
Yeah, just that.
Yeah, so let's see, Verily, I know about start a new business that's Il King. I have some lights so I'm advertise, isn't it? So you want to tell us some more about that, Mr.
Well, these lights, strip lights, you can get them like 32 feet or 50 feet. And they have like multiple modes, color, fade, flash. And one of the good things about it is that it moves to the tempo of the beat or sound in general. So like they are sensitive to sound, music or whatever it is. So you can call them mood like them really nice. I mean, they give your room this aesthetic push and
Yeah, so people link him up for that, You don't know if you want, and you can see it in the background there. You see me? So if you want the lights, then I can definitely link him up, yeah? So everybody said them good over the break, and how the rain affect each person. Everybody good?
Yeah. All right, but the rain did terrible, man.
Okay, and before we start, because I think this will be the topic and talk about the rain and how it has affected everybody. But just before we start, I remember, we were having a conversation in one of these episodes. You guys can go check it back. It's called Parish Wars. Does anybody want to change their answer?
No.
No,
none at all.
No, man, we're good.
Okay. All right, so Russ, tell me how was the experience of the rain for you? Or how has it been so far?
Well, the experience for me did very, very, terrible. The thing is, I never did expect the rain. And most parts of Kingston were more that drive. Like, it's like a river. Mm-hmm. So that did rough for me. Like if the rainfall heavy for 10 straight minutes, Kingston roads turn into rivers. Like deep rivers. Like no people could have go through a lot of them. I see cars shut down on the side of the road. All sort of something. Cars in them yard, them have to cover the muffler with plastic bag and them something. I don't want too much water go up in the car, all sort of something. So it did terrible. And right now a lot of cars are suffer from they call leakage. So some people just find out so them car leak. As in them car wet up. So that happened to a lot of people around the area as well. So them something there, it rough. And then we hear some more come weekend. So we even
not just weekend. Forecast is until January 20.
Till January, I can't do that. I don't know how that's
2021.
Right now, people, as you know, me come from St. Elizabeth, town, and right now, I don't know when I go back down, because I don't trust around a porous.
You say, I trust them places. Yeah,
I trust them places. Them places they usually mash up, and then with the rain, what I realized happening is that the rainfall and every pothole that did ever patch in a history just seem to dig up back. So I'm confused.
I think
I was enjoying the rain, and I understand that, you know, they say it's from a place of privilege where you can appreciate this weather, but I really, really appreciate it. Like, I love the cold, I love the darkness, I love the, you know, cuddly blanket weather. I love it. I was enjoying it. And I'm sure that I'll enjoy it as it goes along, as long as we don't get a hurricane.
Right, because on the north side, you know, where we were, it wasn't, you know, so bad in terms of flooding or, you know, landslide, stuff like that. And we're definitely going to have to touch on some of those things as well. But as it relates to that, the only problem I really had with it was water heater. The solar water heater never did go.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of people that happen to.
Yeah. So, beer cold water.
I don't have that problem. I bathe in warm water anyway, so the colder the water, the better.
Yeah, senti life.
Nah, man, people are bathing in cold water, savages. Let's just clear that.
It feel like fresh and nice. I don't like warm water. Warm water kind of leave you kind of feel like damp. I don't know. I don't like it.
Only savage people bathing in cold water. Like.
You know, say me have to big up Ella still. Why? First of all, the cold I hear just is it matchy.
Yeah.
Tough. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I'm glad as well based on what Ella say at the same view me have. Like me not exaggerate, me feel like rainfall for like entire October. Like me don't know if there was a day when there was no rain. You know what I mean? And you know, I was in, I mean, for persons who don't have dryers, it must hard. You know what I mean? Because I saw a meme where somebody was saying like, if you smell moly, just know it's reach at bottom of my barrel. That we're not top fall it.
Yeah.
You get that? Yeah. You know what I say? So I mean, I was privileged to have a dryer, so I was able to wash and dry and everything. But I know enough people never have the privilege. Second, like the water did extremely cold. Like me used to cold water, you know, but me not lie, it did just a little bit colder than normal. Which me still like it, you know what I mean? But you know, like you have to be cautious when you go in a shower. You be like, you turn on me and you see me, you get a little prips.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, and you know, you really. But otherwise, rain is my element, you know what I mean? Water is. So, I love rain, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't really have any other issues. I mean, the North had it well. Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. So, how was it for you?
Manchester Central, it wasn't, to be honest, comparing to the other parishes, it wasn't so bad. Not much landslides or so forth. They had flooding, and especially in the town. Why them just fix some road in the town and only per million spend and a beer flooding and thing. But compared to St. Thomas, St. Andrew and them places, I don't think Manchester can complain. In some sense, the farmers them can complain, because only the damage and thing. As for me, and like with animals, with my animals and thing, it wasn't too bad. Only thing like wasn't able to go down there and get to see them every day or get to them never have no much grass and them thing because too much rain. Animals don't like too much of one thing. Can't have too much sun, can't have too much rain. Else them get sick. But personally, I'm not really wanting to complain about the weather. It was good. Yeah, you get the weekend, the rain was falling, could have rest and thing. Only thing never after I let the house kind of feel moldy and thing and
feel kind of dumb.
I watch my clothes and hang them up in the house and I say, oh, I don't like them things. So yeah, but no complaints.
I understand. A part of it too, well, we have to definitely have to touch on the fact that, you know, a lot of people had a really difficult time, you know, during this rainy season, or is having a good time because it as Ross said, and as such pointed out, that the season has been extended to January. We are expecting more rain, you know, and a lot of people have been going through a lot, you see me? So what I want to say is, or what I want to ask, is it climate change? Is it where the people are? Or is it just bad practices in the environment that is causing these effects to be so bad? What do you think?
I think it's a combination of all of those things.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that climate change has a lot to do with it, based on, you know, the part where the season is extended and how active the season is. That's definitely climate change. And as people have been saying, the countries that are causing climate change won't be the first people that are affected by it. The Caribbean and other places like that will be most affected. So I think with the increased activity in the season and the lengthening of the season, that's definitely climate change. But we also have to be aware of the fact that a lot of people build where they're advised not to.
Yeah.
We understand the socio-economic things that cause them to, you know, build in places like those, but that's kind of the case. They're really building in a riverbed. And we also have to take into account the fact that the drains are clogged with garbage and things like that. And also, the government is not bothering to spend enough time to make sure that the donkey cart paths that they paved over were a good place for a road, you know? Because people cut the path long time and it come like they just come and pave over it. They didn't do any engineering. You know what I mean? Like they didn't go ahead. So they should have consulted. They just pave over the same path that the people were walking on, which I think is a major reason why a lot of our roadways break away every single time.
Right. I also think that, you know, in terms of, I think it's a combination of all of those things as well. A very big point too is each parish has a different, what do you call it now? The soil is made up of different
type.
Yeah, the soil type plays a very big part in that as well. So places like St. Thomas, you know, you tend to find darker dirt there. It's more sandy in terms
of Kingston, more
the consistency of it. Right.
Yeah.
So you have once it is wet and there's any weight. So in terms of the landslide, because it's wet, once anything weighty like trees and stones that are uphill, it pushes down.
Yeah.
You understand? Versus other places, they have more red dirt. We have water that is built up there because the absorption rate of red dirt is a little bit slower. But after a while, it goes away. But I think that is something that they should look into as well, like the dirt composition of each place, and then advise people based on that.
I think one of the problems too.
The only road into Gordon Town?
Yeah, that's the only. Yeah.
Well, yeah, some truck and them thing, but
yeah, there's no other road. Unless I'm gonna go around yonder and go other parishes and come back at Kingston.
Like even something like that, I don't think that should be the case at all, because you hear a lot of communities being marooned and things like that, like multiple points of entrance and exit should, you know.
Yeah, they are each place.
Yeah.
Like, especially for a road that's always collapsing, because that road is always collapsing.
Yeah.
Right, but the problem
something I realize too is that even where I live at St. Elizabeth, I realize a lot of times, like how the road was built originally, it had the drainage and everything properly set. But when them fix road nowadays, I realize that all them do is them add on the original road, like them build it higher.
Right.
So a lot of times them build it higher and them block up the drainage, or them set it away where the water no run go a different place other than the drain itself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think them look on that when them fix roads, and that's one of the major problems that my roads are face.
Because they cut a lot of corners, and we know that are cutting corners.
They must stick to plan. They must stick to plan.
But
even the layout.
I think a part of it too, I think it is intentional. At this point, you cannot convince me that they're not purposely not fixing the roads properly.
Yeah, you get more roads you get to fix, more money you make.
Yeah.
More contracts.
Because even road in the new road that they build in St. Thomas or something, see the asphalt here on the road. One little piece of asphalt.
Rainfall it gone.
Yeah, and it full with mar. Like, is that isn't that something that they should move away from now? Shouldn't they be stocking with stones first? Because the marl was always a washout.
Every road full with marl. Like, me can't understand it either.
And the thing is that, you know, you have different types of marl, you know. And the quality of the marl, because the water, can actually, it's supposed to soak away well to some types, and then to others, it shouldn't. You know what I mean? So the marl that they need for the roads, sometimes it is not the suitable marl, and because the other one is cheaper than one.
Yeah, the mine is the cheapest.
And yet you know how the money thing go. So it end up, the contract gets cheated in every section of the contract.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, every man, when the excavation are going, they get cheated. When dumping everything. And
I mean,
once you break all the rules, you can't come
can't expect better.
That's true. And somebody was touching on the point that we need to fix the road for Garden Town better. I think all of the money that them set out to fix roads always just get used up back on the same roads that they fixed last week. Because
Them have nice roads, you know. Them actually did have nice road prior to the
prior to. But then every time rainfall, something happened to Garden Town Road. The same
but, you know,
that's the problem with Kingston, you know. The same road them are fixed every single time.
Every time.
Every time. I've never seen a new piece of road fixed. The same roads.
But you know, normally
the budget to do projects in other areas, other communities, because they keep fixing
the same road
every time.
Yeah.
And it's because they just need to realize something is wrong with either how they're building it or where it is, and just move it, like spend a lot of money and just move, do something. I don't know. I'm not the engineer at the urban plan. There must be a solution.
That is true though, because what happened is that some of these areas, there is really no fix. You know what I mean? A place where you have certain type of landslide activity happening, how are you going to prevent that? You can't build a retaining wall with that hillside. I mean, that hillside is still
no, that hillside is terrible.
And then there is the other, there's the other thing where, I mean, I've never seen the rainfall for this long, ever. Like, we never see it fall so long yet. So, I mean, the conditions.
But I don't know if that's true, because I remember rainy seasons for long periods of time. I don't know.
The thing is, the peak. Yeah, the peak is now. The peak is now. The rainfall peak is between this time. But in terms of the consistency,
I mean, day and no sun.
Yeah, you know. Them say it happened actually in 2005. They had one hurricane season where it wasn't really a lot of wind with the hurricanes, only for rain.
There's only for rain.
Okay.
Yeah, 2005, and it went up till January. Only for flooding and
but it's not even the season really is the issue, you know, because you know that water in soil has a certain drainage capacity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if the rainfall consistently 3 weeks straight,
it's full.
The amount of water where soil could evenly distribute, it cannot distribute it.
But
so
you know, so I agree with Verly though, because the other day I watched on the news, and I think I'm in St. Catherine. I don't know exactly what the place is again, but I think them call it Big Pan. And when you see everybody building house in like when them do the drone footage and thing, you can literally say it's a pan, the people them building house and then.
Yeah.
And people in Jamaica consistently do that, even if they're warned against it. They consistently do that. And then, you know, the government is in a tricky position, because if you're going to forcefully remove squatters, there's the backlash.
You have to set up space for them.
Yeah, stuff like that. And you can have you can have a situation like what happened in Mobile, where they build the house, relocate them, the people rent out the house and move back to the
build back.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo.
Yeah, so
it reminds me of Port Royal people.
Yes.
We always get stranded, and you always tell them when the hurricane comes, say, yo.
And they're not leaving.
But you see, and that conversation, I always say, it really tough. Because if you put yourself in them shoes, if them grow the sun, it's very difficult sometimes for them to move. But at the same time, really, because even I think it was Bull Bay. Like, me I say some videos. Me I say, oh, brother, this is a riverbed. Like, literally just all like everything will wash back and the sediments and dirt and everything. You can say like, yo, this was a river before.
It's a river, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, so I think the tough decision falls with the people, isn't it? Because the government can talk and talk and talk and tell you this and advise you, but at the end of the day, it now will get no better. Climate change is real. Rainfall will increase. Some of them places on literally just go half a move from. Yeah,
but what
I think
have to take into account, people live there for years and years. Like in St. Elizabeth, where my grandparents' house is located, there is actually a gully that runs beside the house, and we just realized that no, and they've lived there for like years and years, and we've never seen the gully run beside the house before. You understand?
Right,
so it just takes the right conditions for
to reactivate. And I think also I don't know if we're going to that point. You know what I mean? But you see, as you were saying, when you're grown in a particular community or area, and so you probably own some of these lands where you live on, right? Yeah. And then you realize that this land where you live on is a dangerous piece of land. But you can't afford to buy no land nowhere else. So you say you want to go on.
You have to just tough it out.
We go tough it out. And I mean, one of the reasons why this also happened because our government, because people can't really afford to buy some of them piece of land and they can't afford to relocate. You get me? I try to say, where you go to, you end up, I said, well, I'm just a prayer that the river not come to now wash up my house because I can't afford to go nowhere else.
But you get me? Because some Jamaicans don't really take like them risks, they're serious. Because even like, when you look on like banks, a bank we always tell you, say, yo, if me lend a tourist place want money, like a hotel or nothing like that, me sure say me I get back my money. A tourism bigger Jamaica. But then COVID dropped. And all of my loan them get checked.
Yeah.
He never listened before and know say, yo, me need to spread out my thing. Come and say, yo, me always get back my money. Same thing, people them live at them place and them say, yo, me always alright. The riverbed there, but so much rain now go ever fall.
Not only that, I find that Jamaicans have a mentality of, I think it's a coping mechanism, especially for people in a certain economic class where it's just, boy, me start over already, me start over again. Because if they really plan it too hard, come like we mad them. So they have to just, anything happen. Yeah.
Right, that's true. That's true.
No, man, being stubborn. Cause like one of the co-workers them are telling about this gentleman where she used to live in the comfort hall here when she was younger and thing. And it's like them there build a bridge. Now them need the land, the gentleman land for relocate the bridge and thing. Man say him now move. And guess why him now move? He want to go into the town and Mandeville and then now put him a Mandeville and put him a mile gully back in the bush again. So through him now get to go in the town, he now move.
Yeah, he decides him now move.
So then Billy Bridge apparently half my house must have broke when the new river come to
No, hear me. I'm supposed to laugh after that still, but it's still kind of funny as our story.
Stubborn, man.
I don't like to come now and I try to say, okay, I have to move from where I live and send me go for like, well, that's the name. I don't try. Nah, go.
Yeah.
That's the problem, I guess. And that's where I come from with the whole thing.
The man said, man, go a bush. I mean, I come from bush already.
They are bush. I know them. And your bush probably better than the other bush, because let's get it straight.
Are you used to your bush?
Yeah, all bush is.
But Jamaicans know this. All bush are not the same.
Yeah, all bush are not the same.
That's true. I have some people like. But one thing I'm realize though is that you see, even when you build a house and them thing, if I buy a land, you see, if you try to get the more aesthetic view central lands, them normally in some dangerous areas, If you want to live on the inside, you better know the landslide will take you in your house.
Yeah.
If you want to live on the seaside, you know cliff. You go have hurricane force a lick you. You get me?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's easy to live in a bush till you're good. Like some far from place. And you just you know what I mean? But at the truth still, like views, you pay a lot of money for views and you really get on the best day, it is wonderful.
Yeah.
On a
But
bad day,
it is
bad.
the worst. Yeah, you're really exposed.
Yeah.
So I guess
I was going to say I really sympathize with the people, you know, who are going through
right.
anything.
Man, rough, man.
I remember like in Ireland when we lost our roof, and it's a case where what you really need to do is get something and put it back on tomorrow. But the sofa wet, everything, and it's just so, you know, hard to recover from that, even though you didn't,
Yeah.
they're just wet. So you can
Right.
imagine the house packed to the ceiling with dirt, like,
Yeah.
It's terrible, man.
Yeah.
I understand. And I think at the end of the day too, we have to just continue preaching climate change. We have to continue preaching, you know, safety, educating the people, because I think that is what it really starts with. You know, there are certain practices as well. We probably never touch on that, but there are certain practices that kind of enable landslides or cause it to happen even more. So the deforestation, you know, we're not replanting certain trees, or we cut down them little thing there. We play a big part in all of these things, because
Stop dash your plastic out of your window. Put in the garbage.
Exactly, all of these things.
Land and everything.
Yeah, so we have to ensure that we start to practice some more sustainable choices. We start to do some more sustainable things that help, you know, everybody. So I think that is one of the biggest things, or one of the biggest takeaway. And anybody that has anything else that they would like to add, they can definitely add it in the comments, and, you know, let us know, you know, what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Chute season 2, we're back, guys, isn't me? All right.
Bye.
Don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe.